Hello? I'm gonna have to call you back. Hi everybody, Miss Hadley here with some fun facts about bananas. Bananas are a super interesting fruit, so buckle up. For starters, bananas are a tropical fruit, which means they grow in warm places, so we don't really grow many bananas here in the United States, except for in Florida and Hawaii, because there are two warmest states. Bananas grow on these big plants that look like trees, but they actually aren't trees. And they grow in these huge clusters. They come from some crazy looking colorful flowers. And you can actually see the little tiny yellow fingers growing off of the flowers. Those fingers will eventually grow into bananas. Each banana plant only produces one cluster of bananas, and then the plant dies. But then, the next year, a new plant grows back in its place. We call this type of plant that dies every year but then comes back a perennial plant. Bananas naturally have really big seeds in them, but after growing bananas for thousands of years, farmers have created the ones that we eat today that still have seeds in them, but the seeds are really tiny. There are all sorts of different types of bananas. There are pink fuzzy bananas, blue Java bananas, red bananas, green and white striped bananas, mini bananas, some short fat bananas called ladyfinger bananas, and a really popular type of banana, plantains. A plantain is a type of banana that has a tougher skin, it's starchier and it's less sweet, and it's usually cooked before being eaten. It's actually sometimes just called a cooking banana. Go figure. Plantains are eaten all around the world and are especially popular in West and Central Africa, in the Caribbean islands, and in Central and South America, where they're called platanos. Some popular ways to cook plantains include slicing and frying them to make tostones, mashing them to make mofongo, a dish popular in Puerto Rico, making a sopa de plátano, a plantain soup, or making fried sweet plantains, or maduros, a dish popular in the Caribbean and probably one of my favorite ways to eat plantains. All right, here's another fun thing. When we think of bananas, we often think about monkeys because we see pictures of monkeys eating bananas like Curious George. Side note, a lot of people aren't sure if Curious George is actually a monkey. He looks a lot like a chimpanzee, which is an ape, not a monkey. Most monkeys have tails, and apes don't have tails, and Curious George doesn't have a tail. But that's okay, he's a cartoon character. Anyways, there's not a whole lot of evidence that monkeys actually eat bananas in the wild, but they do like them though. My mom used to be a zookeeper who took care of monkeys and apes, and she used to feed them all sorts of yummy foods like lettuce, kale, carrots, sweet potatoes, apples, oranges, and bananas. She told me that sometimes they would eat them in silly ways, like squeezing the whole thing until the banana popped out of the peel, or sometimes they would eat the whole thing, peel and all. One gorilla my mom took care of, named Kuya, only liked eating the banana peels. He didn't like the texture of the actual fruit part on the inside. And if he ever stepped on the mushy banana part, he would hop around his enclosure like crazy and rub his foot on things to get the banana off of there. Bananas are usually picked when they're still green, and then they turn yellow as they ripen, and if they keep getting riper, they start to develop all these little brown spots, and they get more and more brown spots until eventually they turn completely brown, like this one here. A lot of people don't like eating them once they've turned completely brown, but the brown bananas are extra soft and mushy, which makes them great for adding to things like banana bread or smoothies. Now, here's the craziest fun fact of all. Are you ready for this one? If you have ever had a banana-flavored candy, like a banana Laffy Taffy, you've probably noticed that it doesn't taste a whole lot like the bananas you're used to. That's because the artificial flavor that people use to make the banana-flavored candies was extracted from a type of banana that's now extinct. Back in the early 1900s, there were two main types of bananas that people used to eat, the Gros Michel and the Cavendish bananas. But then, in the 1950s, a disease wiped out all of the Gros Michel bananas in the world, and they went totally extinct. People sometimes call this the banana apocalypse. but the scientists had extracted the flavor from the Gros Michel bananas before they went extinct, and that flavor is still used today. So every time you eat a banana-flavored candy, it's like you're traveling back in time and tasting a banana that's now extinct. Isn't that crazy? Now, I know that was a lot. What was the most interesting thing you just learned about bananas? Let me know. Maybe call me up on my banana phone. I hope you enjoy your banana snack. Bye!